welcome to the NPL Live Show. I'm Sirine Demachkie. Tonight I'm joined by player coach Perry Moustakas and goalkeeper Chad Taylor from the Bankstown Berries. But first, let's take a look at the highlights from round 20 of the NPL men's competition.
The Sutherland Sharks took on Sydney FC in the opening match of the round 20. While both teams were out of finals contention, they still put on a spectacle for the Sharks faithful. Cox and De Silva contributing with some great goals to go out 4-3 winners. The Wolves travelled to Bonnyrigg on Saturday for a must-win clash to stay in touch with the finals. Wollongong started well and never looked in doubt of losing this one. Simonoski continuing his run of goals, while Japanese wizard Yuzo Toshiro was never far from the action. Parramatta's new look side has so far struggled to find its feet in 2017. However, they switched on for their trip to Hensley Athletic Field. Hakoa just couldn't get past the Parramatta keeper, and it took a late free kick from Dean Bear-Vescos to break the deadlock. Apia met Manly in what many tipped to be a hard-fought affair. However, that was until Brendan Chalakian got his marching orders early in the first half. Apia went riot after that, scoring 3 goals in 13 minutes, and 5 all up. Sakia with a brace and Simmons with a classy diagonal shot.
Switch. Control from Simmons. Here is Simmons! 1-0 to Apia. And it's from a pretty familiar source.
In the match of the round, Blacktown City knew they had to win against Rockdale so as to ensure breathing space ahead of their top-of-the-table clash with Apia this week. Rockdale found the back of the net first, however, with former City young gun Jonathan Grozdanovsky adding salt to the wound. Thankfully for Crittenden's men, Daniel Arojo pounced on a loose ball and put it past Kovic to level the scores. A draw means Blacktown City will have to overcome second-place Apia this weekend to secure the minor premiership. Old rivals Sydney Olympic and Sydney United both needed wins to keep pace with the top 5. Gligor and Payne both scored for their respective teams to ensure a stalemate leading into the end of the match. Olympic seemed to seal the win when Stamatella set up Kaboki. However, Nickus would get one last chance in stoppage time,
Now he moves in. Nickus!
only to see a shot smash against the crossbar. Every game is a potential season maker or breaker next week, but for now, this was the round that was.
Perry, Chad, thanks so much for coming in tonight and congratulations on your Westfield FFA Cup round of 32 win against the Metro Stars. So what does a win like this mean to the Bankstown Berries?
Oh, well, it's a massive result for the club. Obviously, people know how the history of the club. It's been around for a very long time. So to be, on national TV again and the name to be out there is a great feeling for everyone involved in the club, but also for the players. It's definitely been a great experience.
Absolutely. There was so much hype, there was so much excitement. Chad, how did you guys celebrate after the game?
We sang the team song a couple of times, so I think the boys quite enjoy that. So, plenty of singing, plenty of jumping around, and high fives. So it was a great feeling after the game.
That's wonderful. And Perry, you're gearing up for the round of 16 draw. Who do you hope to play and why?
Look, we're in the 16, so whatever really comes out our way will be great. On a personal level, I'd love to play an A-League team, just so the boys can really see whereabouts they are and what the gap is between where they need to be. But really, anything will be great.
Any particular A-League team?
You know what? I'd like it to be interstate, so we can maybe head over.
I get that a lot. We've had other players sort of say, we want to go interstate.
A great way for a team bonding session at the back end of the season. So, looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Chad, anyone you personally would like to see yourself playing?
I would like a member-fed team from WA to make a big trek over to Sydney and make it difficult for them.
Oh, make it difficult for them.
Yeah, just make it difficult. Make them travel and put somewhat a little advantage in our favour and try and get through to the 8.
Well, we'll see how it goes, huh? We'll see how it goes. You're also fresh off a win against the Macarthur Rams on the weekend, so congratulations on that win again. How was the game?
Look, it was definitely our most mature performance of the year, coming off a busy time of the year, and especially after such a big win against Metro Star. Having a young squad, it was kind of going to the unknown, you know, how were they going to react, you know, because after a result like that, you can drop off or you can really kick off. So straight after the game against Metro Stars, you know, congratulated the boys, told them to enjoy it, but, you know, I really wanted to see a big performance against Macarthur, and I think we did. I think our most professional performance of the year, so I was very happy with it.
Well done. Perry, I recently read a note from the Bankstown Berries president regarding the round of 32 that your first promise coming into the job was to see young players, especially homegrown youth, have and be provided the opportunity, and you've delivered. So tell us about that. How for you is that promise? How's that promise for you personally, and how do you feel the club is going as a whole?
Look, when I first sat down with the club to discuss what, you know, when they offered me the role of being a player coach, we sat down and we spoke about a 3-year plan and what we want to happen at the end of the 3 years. Definitely a big part of that. We want to be a developing club, so we want at the moment to give young kids an opportunity, but we want in three years' time and onward, we want to be looking at the kids that have come through the SAP program, youth program, into our senior team. We want to be looking at the starting 11 of our first grade squad where we have those kids that have come through. So that's what we want to be about. And personally, I think that's what all the NPL 1 team and 2 teams should be really focusing on, you know, developing their juniors. So look, it was a promise. I think the best part of everything that's come out of it, we have seen the younger kids sending messages on Facebook how happy they are to see the club the way it is, and they're really looking forward to the next chapter of what we're going to do. And it's been you know what, I can't really put words to it, but it's been a great feeling. So
Well, they're proud.
yeah,
Well, they're
like
just
the
proud
young
and
kids,
part of the community.
yeah, that's what we're getting from the young kids. So we're really happy to hear
Oh,
that.
good one. Good one. Let's have a quick little break and take a look at our goal of the week. Here's goal of the week for round 20 of the NPL men's competition.
Here's Uchino. Nice switch. Control from Simmons. Here is Simmons! 1-0 to Apia. And it's from a pretty familiar source in Sean Simmons. And isn't he finding the goals in recent weeks? Sent from Uchino. And Simmons kills it with the first. Buries it with the second. A touch off the post as well.
Congratulations, Sean Simmons from the Apia Leichhardt Tigers for that strike. Chad, how would you have blocked that strike?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was in off the post, so you know, going across the face of goal. So I think anyone's having a difficult time trying to get across that and get a fingertip on it.
It was a good
strike.
Yeah, it was indeed. Perry, what's your coaching philosophy and its relationship with education? You were talking earlier about the kids, etc.
Look, my philosophy has been like, I've come in late, I got the job a bit late, so it was really about adapting to what I had in front of me. So we had a good month of training, a few friendly games in there, so I can really learn what they've been taught, where they're up to, and the rest of that was just about adapting to make sure we can get the best out of the group. I've been really big on honesty and, you know, trying to build a relationship with all my players. They definitely had the trust in me, but it was important to win the trust of them. So I've tried to build a squad where everyone feels that they're going to play. And I think everyone in our squad has had a lot of minutes. There's 1 or 2 players that have come back from injury that, you know, waiting to get back into it. But I think that's what we've really tried to build, you know, a good atmosphere and build trust between everyone.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's the coaching aspect, but it also sounds like there's the mentoring aspect as well, doesn't it?
Well, I think some of my
It's just
players
coming
might
through.
be, well, look, they might be sick of hearing some things I've said. You know, I'm a bit of a broken record. I pretty much just don't want them to be satisfied with okay. So,
Keep stretching.
Yeah, well, just they should always want to better themselves and the team. So that's something I drive into them.
Good one.
And I've been lucky that they've responded well. So
That's good. Testament to you. And speaking of you were born and bred in South Sydney. You played with Sutherland Sharks, with Sydney Olympic, and you moved abroad. So tell us about that move and playing overseas.
Well, yeah, I played most of my junior years in Sydney here, and I guess I was that generation where NSL kind of broke away. You know, the gap between when A-League was going to start. You know, I went from training every day, 7-8 times a week, to being part-time, training 2 times a week, and I didn't enjoy it at all. Wow. So I just had to get out, and my story is quite a funny one, because I just went overseas and knocked on the door of a club, and I didn't have an agent or a manager, and they pretty much laughed at me and asked me to sign off that if anything happens to me, that, you know, they're not
liable.
They're not liable, and pretty much I asked for one day, and one day ended up being 10 fantastic years for me.
Wow.
So,
Well,
yeah.
sometimes that's what it's like, isn't it? It's just knocking on a door, and what's the worst that can happen? They can just say no.
I say that all the time to all the kids. You
Yeah.
know, just try your luck. If you don't try, you'll never know.
Good one. And Chad, Oliver Kahn said, goalkeepers need to have an element of insanity. Who else would stand up and allow people to shoot balls at their face and still think it's great? So how did you get into playing goalkeeper, and are you crazy?
Most of the boys would probably say I am crazy. Yeah, look, the way I got into it was just as a junior, park footy. I think it was under 8s, and my dad was the coach, and lined us up. I was actually wanting to be a striker, and no one wanted to go in goals, and he lined us all up, and everyone had a turn, and yeah, I was saving everything, and I became the goalkeeper, and yeah, so it just sort of spiraled out of control from there.
There we go. Good one.
Yeah.
In your opinion, how or is height relevant to the success of goalkeeping?
Oh, look, I think being tall is definitely, has its advantages. I'm not tall. I probably would have been a better goalkeeper in the 70s and 80s when Jim Fraser and Ron Corrie were around. So maybe even earlier. So yeah, look, it definitely has its advantages, and the trend is big goalkeepers make better goalkeepers. So.
Oh, you think? Yeah, so you think it is?
That's the trend.
That's the trend. Not that you're abiding by the trend. Well, you're case in point, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
And your day job also is centred around football. Tell us about your 9 to 5.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate to be able to work in sport, and in particular football. So I work for a sports media business. We work very closely with the FFA and their websites, and we also have a website called goal.com, which is heavily focused on European football, Champions League and Premier League.
What's the name of it? Sorry, what's the name of the business?
Goal.com.
Goal.com.
Yeah.
The name of the business that you work for?
Perform.
Oh, Perform. Right.
Perform
okay.
Media.
Great. So it's all about football, and I believe, Perry, you're about the same. Your day job, or 9 to 5, if you want to call it, is centred around football.
Yeah, I work at Kickoff down at Canterbury, Lakemba there, so I'm pretty fortunate to be working 24/7 around football, so I wouldn't want it any other way.
You both live and breathe football. Guys, before I let you go, it is time for shout-outs here on the NPL Live Show, so anybody you want to say hello to, send a message to, it's all yours.
Daniel Finito, hope you're watching, and Daniel DeRuccio, you've got to find.
I'm just going to thank the club for their support, and let's hope this fairy tale continues, I guess, so yeah.
Guys, again, thank you so much for coming in, and good luck for your game against the Mounties Wanderers this weekend. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's have a look at the fixtures for round 21 of the NPL men's competition. On Sunday, 3 p.m. at Cromer Park, Manly United take on Sydney United 58. Rockdale City Suns will host the Wollongong Wolves 3 p.m. at Ellenden Sports Centre. Also at 3 p.m, the top of the table clash will see first placed Blacktown City take on second placed Apia Leichhardt Tigers. Not to be missed, this game will be live streamed on the NPL New South Wales Facebook page. And at 5 p.m, Sydney Olympic will play Hakoah Sydney City East at Lambert Park. Thank you again to our guests tonight, Perry Moustakas and Chad Taylor from the Bankstown Berries. We also want to congratulate our Westfield FFA Cup round of 32 winners, the Apia Leichhardt Tigers for their 5-0 win against the Olympia Warriors, Blacktown City for their 3-2 win against the Central Coast Mariners, and best of luck to Sydney United 58, who will play Far North Queensland Heat next Wednesday. Before we go tonight, we want to pay our respects to the late Les Murray. On Monday, Australian football lost its most passionate advocate of our beautiful game. Les Murray, Mr. Football, you will be missed by the millions of Australian football fans. Your legacy will live on forever. We'll be back next week. I'm Sirine Demachkie. Have a lovely evening.